What's up, everyone? Vizo87 here, and today we actually have a Disgaea 7 video. This is my second attempt at doing this because I screwed this up the first time I was recording right at the very end, and I couldn't actually finish beating Baal, which is what we're going to be doing today. Carnage Baal 4. The strategies that are going to be involved in this is a combination of strategies I saw from different people, some of which was from Primal Liquid. I saw another one that involved a specific character that I'm going to showcase in a little bit. So yeah, this is a combination of strategies. This is a little bit of what I had also come up with based on my own testing and trying, and then I got it to work finally after 2 hours, and I was so happy. First things first, Wicked Enhancements. We need to have HP, Res, and Defense up. You want to administer it only once. And the reason for that is because we need the Cling to Life and Nullifies Damage. Those are super important in this Baal fight.
May God watch over you.
Now, what is next? Our characters. Your attacker. Now, in my case, my attacker is Fuji. I'm going to actually start with the equipment. As you can see, his stats are nowhere near cap, and they don't actually need to be. Even my sword is just a single run through the item world. So it's not even reincarnated. You don't need anything super huge for this. What is important is what I have on these trapezohedrons, and that is all out hit. Now, the more properties that boost your damage and critical damage and attack power, the better. Now, I know this attack says it boosts attack by 2%. This is incorrect. This actually boosts your attack power. So you want like one of the weapon attackers or just attacker in general. All-out hit, anything that increases your damage output. Even something else that you would want that is really good is Swing About, which allows you to attack multiple times, and the strategy would completely change with it, but I am doing this without it, and there is one reason for that. I haven't gotten it yet. I don't have any weapon, any item, nothing with the Swing About on it. So we're doing this without it. And as you can see, we have basically the same trapezohedron for all three. And I don't really have that many stat boosting things on here. It's whatever. I haven't even reincarnated them that much. Like, as you can see, they are all pretty tiny. So the items that you're using are not super important, although, like I said, having those gold traits, increasing, that it boosts damage or critical damage, those are pretty important, and you would really want to have them, as you might not be able to clear it with every character using them. After that, the only thing that is important is the weapon that your other support units are carrying. So my supports are going to be Ow, Biko, Plenair, Artina, Melodia, Rosalind, Suisen, Ichijiku, our Meiko, our Celestial Hostess, or Host, or whatever, and our War Lady. As you saw, I do have other characters here, and I'm going to explain how they're useful. You actually don't need to worry about the armors here. Those actually are not important at all. You could win this fight without a single piece of armor attached on all of your support units. Next up is going to be evilities. Now, I'm going to say that you do need DLC for this. You actually need the entire DLC package in order for this strategy to actually work, and that is because you need Plenair. Without Plenair, this strategy kind of falls apart because she contains a lot of important things, which we'll get to in a second. Now, in terms of unique abilities, you want your attacker to have all 5 slots unlocked, which is probably going to be the case regardless, because you are probably, the first time you go to clear this, going to use that character throughout the game. Whether that's Fuji or not is up to you. However, his unique abilities here are useless. We don't need them. What is important is Assault Attack, Holy Smokes, and Group Tactics. Now, the reason Holy Smokes is so important is because we're going to be using a jumpification strategy, which, as you can see, Fuji's in there. I forgot to show the squads. But when you attack with a character and then you use Passionately Approach or Encouragement, it actually resets how much you moved in that turn, because that character progresses to your turn 2, but the stage does not. So that movement bonus you get from assault attack actually disappears when you use one of those attacks. So Holy Smokes is actually there as a backup for Ball number 2 and Ball number 3, and I actually could not win without this ability, so it is super important that you have it. The last one being Group Tactics, increase stats by 5% per ally within 2 panels. It's just important because all of your characters, all of your supports are going to be stacked up next to you. Now, in terms of our passable abilities, we're going to use long range. And the reason I think long range is very useful is because when you are jumpified, you're going to be far away from all of the balls. So you should get maximum, or at least close to maximum bonus for this. Shame, which is going to be very useful with the Genderbender ability on all of our female supports. EM Barrier comes from Pirilika, super important. Aggression. I noticed that Primal did not use Aggression. I don't know why. For 3 ability slots, you get 75% attack power boost when attacking normally, which is what you're going to be doing when you're jumpified. Still standing, just to stay alive long enough to do things. Weapon Researcher comes from Nitra, and the reason that we want all of our supports, except Suicune of course, to have a sword attached. Of course, it doesn't have to be a sword. It could be whatever weapon you are choosing to use, as long as all the characters have that same weapon. That is what is super important. Now, of course, this becomes a problem when you're trying to do this with a monster, so good luck with that one. Owl's ability of Pouncing Tiger I think is super important, and I think it's overlooked because the wording is incorrect. It was not translated correctly. When HP is reduced by 20%, increase attack by 20%. There's actually 2 mistakes here. The first mistake is that it is when your HP is reduced by 20% each time. So if your HP drops to 1, which it's going to in Ball, you will actually have that 20% reduction 4 times. And that will increase not your attack, but your attack power by 20% each time, giving you an 80% attack power boost. That is humongous, and I could not beat this without this. We have also Deadly Footwear. Now you'll notice that I actually don't have King's Dignity. I couldn't find a way to squeeze it in because everything was so important. I'm getting a 100% boost from this. I'm getting a 75% boost from this. I'm getting another huge boost from this. I mean, maybe if I replace... Oh no, King's Dignity is 3 slots. So maybe if I replaced this and Deadly Footwear with it, I don't know, I'll have to test that at some point. But Pouncing Tiger is also super important to make this work from Ow. Now, our support units, they do not need 24 slots. In fact, you can actually get away with only 18 slots if they're female, 17 if they are male. However, you do need to have purchased the unique, ability slot from the assembly. And the reason for that is because we need Curse Dance. So when you're bringing these characters up, increasing their classes, or their subclasses, you want to make sure that the Sorcerer is the one of the classes that you do. You don't need any additional slots. They won't really help. In terms of what they need on them. Still standing, absolutely. Magnificent Cheer. I believe you get this from... I don't remember. I'm not going to even pretend to remember. I think it comes from the Maiko class. EM Barrier comes from Pirilika. Tactical Guidance, I don't remember who that comes from, but this is super important. Noble Cause comes from Opener. And you need Gender Bender. Now, I have Prevention and Aggression on here. Aggression you definitely don't need on her. But Prevention, you probably also could get away with not having this, because I don't think you're going to get hit with any status ailments at all during this fight. So really, as long as you have at least 18 slots for these items, for these abilities right here, you are good. So Biko is the exact same setup, as well as Plein Air. Biko is important because of her damage up by 30%, so yes, you need DLC. I can't remember if I mentioned that. Plein Air as well, she is actually paramount to making the strategy work. We also have Artina with Angel Glitter, super important again. Melodia for Heroine's Temper, as well as Passionately Approach. Rosalind for Queen Glitter. I'll talk about those guys in a second. Suicune. Now, Suicune only needs 17 slots because Suicune is male. So you don't have to go and get that 18th slot on him. I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but you don't need to actually do it because he doesn't need Gender Bender. I will go back to her in a second. Your Maiko only needs EM Barrier and Still Standing. A Gender Bender would not hurt, though. You don't need Tactical Guidance, although, again, it is something else that, once more, it wouldn't hurt to have. As you can see, I didn't even bother putting Noble Cause on her. She doesn't need it. We have the Celestial Hostess with Tactical Guidance, Still Standing, EM Barrier, Gender Bender, and Pretty Instructor for some reason. Again, you don't need this, though. And in reality, you should actually put Magnificent Cheer on her. I forgot to do that, so... Oops, I guess I could do a little more damage. And then we have our War Lady with the same bundle of abilities. Now, as you saw, I had a couple of characters I skipped over. C4. C4 is actually going to be used here, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be C4. I just used her because it was just easier. So, why do we need these additional support characters? We need them for turn 1, and we need them for this ability right here, Acceleration Mascot. You do not need to even increase their ability slots. As long as you have just Acceleration Mascot and EM Barrier, that is all you need on them. And you will need 6 support units that do this. So I have Ieyasu, I have Pirilika, who's actually super important for a different reason. I have Higan, I have Nitra, and I have Opener. Now, that covers basically every character here except one more piece of the puzzle, and that is Eusalia. Eusalia also has Acceleration Mascot, EM Barrier, again, does not need Still Standing. But however, this strategy will not work without Eusalia, and that's because of her Hell mode. So you'll see that in practice. In terms of squads, we have Fuji, or your attacker, who's the leader. I have Ao in there just for funsies. And the War Lady, who absolutely needs to be in here. You cannot do this without her unless you have Swing About. If you Swing About, you can ignore that. You don't necessarily need it. And you could do some more fun stuff. Whew. In terms of base stats, I should have mentioned that. I'm glad I thought about it. You do want to have base stats maxed out. I don't remember how to switch the parameters. There we go. You want extracts on attack, defense, int, res, hit, and speed. The reality is you only need it on attack and hit. You don't need it for anything else. So make sure you do the extracts. As you can see, I don't even have HP and SP turned into it. Power Seal is not important. I have almost no stats attached to that. So good thing I redid this because I forgot about it. Alright, we have our Wicked enhancements. We've talked about the juice bar. We've talked about everything we need to talk about. Let's go in and actually fight this guy. So the strategy here is super important. You have to do everything exactly as I do it in order to make it work. And the first thing being that we are going to send out our Acceleration EM Barrier support units first. Now we are doing this. Make sure Pirilika is one of them you send out here. You can't forget her. She's important. So, you can use 5 characters of whoever, but you need Pirilika to be one of them. Oops, I forgot Higan. Show me what you got. Okay, so we have our 6 Acceleration Mascot EM Barrier people out here. Again, Pirilika must be one of them. Next up, Plein Air. We need Plein Air to be out here on the field. We also need, at this point, Eusalia and Fuji. Okay. Now, as you can see, Eusalia's Hell mode is fully charged. And we are going to activate it, which activates the, maxes out the Hell mode gauge for all allies. So now, we can take Fuji and move him a bunch of slots. And this is why we have the Acceleration Mascots here, so that we get a move that is high enough to move him to the maximum distance to get the most out of Assault Attack. At this point, you want to make sure you also remember to use the Hell mode of Plein Air, because, as you can see, her attack power, the attack power of ally units increases by 30%. Now, we can put all these characters away, except Plein Air and Fuji. And now we're going to start preparing our units. I'm going to put Ao here, because that was the mistake I made last time. And you want Melodia here, on the bottom of the tower. And now you can start stacking everyone on top. Biko, Artina, Rosalind. Make sure you don't accidentally send out a character. Suisen. Let's go and jumpify. Oh, that's hell mode. I almost forgot to do that. And jumpify over here. It is important that you jumpify over here, even though I know a rear attack does more damage. The problem is my support units can't reach anywhere, as well as the wall will block you from supporting them. So it has to be over here. Now, we have our War Lady. We're going to jumpify our War Lady, it doesn't matter where, so that we get an additional attack. Now, we're going to use our attack. As you can see, our stats are maxed out. And we are going to hit the far right ball first. You have to hit him first. That's because he revives. And now that there are less males on the field, while it hasn't affected his stats, yet, it will eventually. Now, because Melodia is on the bottom, we can cast Passionately Approach. I forgot to do the double attack. Oh my goodness. Wowie. I got very lucky that I killed that. So, yeah, don't forget to do that. That's pretty bad. Thankfully, my stats were high enough that it didn't matter. Next up, you want to attack the back ball. And that is because of his ability that hits your characters when they leave the base panel. And we need Pirilika a second time. So let's do that. Now, they are all dead. What we are going to do is move Suisen here, which I probably could have done right from the beginning. And I'm going to actually put Ao back in. No, I don't actually have to do that. She could stay out. And... oh no, what am I saying? No, I was right the first time. We don't need Ao. We need to now use our Maiko to cast Encouragement, to get one more attack. Now here's the thing. Fuji is actually going to die here. And I think we're doing this right. So now Baal is dead. Baal is dead. He is wiped out. However, we died because of the reflect damage. And as you can see, these guys are still, unfortunately, alive. However, the best part about them is that they have nothing that can hit you. So we are going to end our turn. They will move, however, nothing can happen. What we are then going to do is return everybody to the base. And we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to get our Dragon Balls, which revives all allies that died. So we can use Hell Mode and revive our Fuji.
Sure about this?
Now, what you want to do here is move Fuji as... well, shoot. We need to send out all of our mascots again.
It's me! A test of strength. I'm fired up.
To battle. Let's make
There we
some
go.
money.
So we're sending out our mascots again, so that we can do this, maximize our damage output, and again, jumpify. And now we're just going to set up just like we did the first time. Having everyone... nope, actually we're going to undo that. We're going to put Melodia here in the bottom first.
Now's my chance.
You eyesore!
May God watch over you.
On-site analysis complete. I'll eliminate you.
Valkyrie order. Put him on top. Oh. Well, we don't even need it, because as you can see, we are strong enough to do this. And that is how I beat... wow, a true Yoshitsuna. Awesome. That's actually cool. And there you go. There you have it. Beating Baal with the big boy, Fuji. That was a tough one. I got a little scared. I couldn't remember some of the things, but I remembered everything. Besides the, the Celestial Hodus for getting the bonus attack. That is important. Don't forget to do that. So yes. There you have it. You could do this with any character. I think the only characters you're going to run into a problem with are your monster characters, because as you can see, I'm using humanoid supports, so I think that could be a problem, and you'll have to replace Weapon Researcher with something, because that isn't going to help. I don't really know what you could put on, though, so you could play around with that. Increase stats. I mean, you could... No, you need to increase your attack power. Interesting. Is that better than... Oh, no, that's on the map, though. So that's... Yeah, that's important. Well, no, actually, this might actually be more useful than Shame. I wonder. Anyway. Let's see if we can find something that will help us here. Increase damage up by 12. We need... Nope. That's cool and all, but that's not going to help us. I feel like this is probably attack power and not attack. But we're not going to use Curry anyway. I don't think we actually have anything that will help us when it comes to monsters. Yeah, you might be a little stuck on that. Monsters could be a problem. Yeah, I think that is going to be a problem. I mean, I'm looking for you guys. You have Ensure Victory, but unfortunately that's not going to take down Baal 2 and 3. So, that is cool, but ultimately useless. I mean, you could do Banishing Evil, but that's not that great. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Whatever, if I think of something, I'll put it in the description. Thank you for watching. That's how you beat Baal. Carnage Baal 4. Don't forget to go back in and get your Neo Baal sword. Nice, look at that. And a sushi too. Nice. Yeah, so having Assassinate is great. Increased damage dealt by. There is one thing I can think of actually that will help your... That is this. Yeah. Increase attack of ally monsters by 5%. I feel like that's probably attack power. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and it's probably going to be the only Disgaea video. Bye!